What up, Block fam? Welcome to today's episode where we've got some big news for you guys. As you know, in the previous episode, we took the stock engine out of my brand new 2024 Harley Davidson Road Glide. It's sitting right there. It's the 117 Milwaukee 8. Awesome engine, but we're revealing the newest addition for Harley Davidson. We've got a 135 cubic inch Milwaukee 8 stage 4.
Are we allowed to talk about that now?
I think we're allowed to talk about that, especially because, you know, corporate's here. Hey, corporate.
Hi.
Hello. So for those of you that have watched the channel for a while, y'all remember Matt. Oh, I don't even know. How many episodes have you been in? Probably like a few. 20?
A few. I think I need my own theme song at this point.
It's Matt. So what's your role with Harley Davidson?
You know, I work on the social team when work with YouTubers, helping to get on trips, ride bikes, have a good time.
Massey MVP. Appreciate you, bro. And standing beside him, we've got Michael.
Yes, Michael Greenway. I'm the Director of Parts and Accessories for Harley Davidson. So oversee all of the service parts, all of the accessories that we do on bikes. A key part of that is obviously the product portfolio, all of the new accessories that we're coming out with, including that beautiful engine you just showed over there.
Fun fact, also, that I wanted you guys to hear.
Oh, I'm gonna vet him in a second. Go ahead, you give the fun fact,
you're gonna,
and then I'm gonna.
That was gonna be that you're gonna vet him
for that man. Well, I mean, he just shows up like I'm so and so, and I got all this. I'm saying, what makes you so special?
Is that what I sounded like? Yeah. All right. The fun fact. So my mom and dad both worked at Harley Davidson. They put in about 60 combined years working in the finance department. So grew up a Harley kid, all around the bikes, and thrilled to be here with Harley now. Living out a dream.
Very long history with Harley Davidson. Yeah, it's basically like in your lineage now. So with this new 135, since we've got the experts here in-house, what can you tell us about the new 135 cubic inch Milwaukee 8?
Compared to the past 135 that we did a video of, I think last Daytona, this one we're getting 149 foot-pounds of torque, 144 horsepower, both the most we've ever gotten. The torque is about a 13 foot-pound increase since the last 135. The horsepower is a 6 horsepower increase since the last one. I think we kind of mentioned certainly the center cooled, massive 40-degree decrease in that overall temperature. The valve size we've increased since the last 135. Obviously that oval shape, all lessons from the racetrack brought to the streets, and then also the cam. We got a 550 cam, maybe not as large as the one you were thinking about putting in there, but we think it's good enough.
It's an S590, that's my favorite.
Nope. That's what I'm thinking. Harley corporate!
And so those are kind of the main points, the new ones compared to the past 135. Like I said, a lot of lessons from the racetrack, bringing it to the streets, street legal, under warranty, kind of putting this in play, the greatest performance you can possibly get under warranty. Just a fantastic engine. I know I've been on it. It's amazing. If you're gonna do it, get a backrest. It is fun. I wrote one last week. I had it in just kind of the base model Road Glide. I'm more of a Street Glide fan than the Road Glide, but that made me...
Oh, shots fired.
Shots fired.
Yeah. So I haven't done the 135 in a Street Glide, which I need to do. Maybe that's my own bike, but yeah, it was awesome. Did a couple hours on it, open roads, and just how fast you're getting up there. Absolutely amazing. Definitely the most fun Harley Davidson I've ever been on.
And those power numbers that he gave are to the rear wheel.
So Harley released power numbers based on rear wheel dyno numbers. That's
not peak. Not peak.
That's pretty untraditional. Usually it's measured at crank from manufacturers, right?
I think so, but we want to communicate exactly what the customer is going to experience when they're on it.
That's a big deal, guys. Y'all probably, there's a number of you that probably don't care, but that's a big deal. Rear wheel horsepower is what you're feeling. A lot of manufacturers will advertise at the crank because you're not factoring in drivetrain loss, and it makes the numbers look better. So props to Harley Davidson for that one. That's pretty sick. With this engine, if you were to get this installed in your bike, you are still within warranty, which is pretty crazy to think that you can get this amount of power and then still have that warranty coverage. That also means that you're still within like EPA guidelines and whatnot.
Yes. So all of this engine, EPA approved, 49 state legal. With
it being EPA compliant, that requires us or people to use header system tuning.
With the new Screaming Eagle Bluetooth tuner, it's got all the cows loaded, ready to go. I don't think everybody has a dyno sitting there to do that. Everybody to kind of take this, a fantastic app that goes with it. I think Matt's got that up, that can kind of record everything you're doing, really help you to optimize it and make sure you're tuning the bike exactly how you want it. With that and get everything going is the wide bed sensor. and that's kind of everything you need. Get this puppy up and running.
That's super convenient because that'll fit under the cover. I don't know if you guys have any experience in, you know, previous Bluetooth tuners, but fitting them under the cover because they're big and bulky, that's incredibly nice. That'll plug right up. And then, yeah, connectivity right on your phone, select what tune, good to go. It does come with their header pipe here, which Matt is modeling with ever so graciously. Everything that you guys are going to be seeing in this episode on this engine is going to be exactly as it comes from Harley Davidson. So now that you guys have seen everything that comes with it, let's go ahead and we've got a couple questions for y'all on some of the performance, such as throttle body, intake ports, injectors, and whatnot. So on the new manifold, we've got the oval intakes rather than circular like on the previous. So much larger and oval shape.
That's one of the big things that the race team has learned. That's why those ports are oval.
And then injectors, Chris, you were curious about that. Yeah. And so they're actually angled kind of towards the back instead of being in the middle.
They are spraying it pretty much directly at the back wall, right about in here, but the cone is not necessarily directed directly at that. It may actually be directed a little more, I didn't get a specific answer, but it's directed at a different angle than traditional. Basically what that's telling me is if this is your shear point, then it's better atomization. If you think about all the air coming in and basically hitting the wall, it's got one or two ways to go. That's its kind of shear point. That's what's gonna pick it up and swirl it.
What is atomization?
So how do I say this for regular folks at home? If you're chopping up onions and onions represent the fuel, that's what you're adding to your soup. The finer you dice it, the better it disperses in your soup, the faster it cooks down, renders down, whatever. So that's basically what we're doing with the gas. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't,
so the angle of the injectors would be like the knife.
I mean, the air is the knife. You think about the air is the knife. That's what's doing the breakdown. As far as the spray angle, how it hits the air is basically what we're doing.
Michael, do you support this?
It made perfect sense to me.
I mean,
hopefully to everyone else out there.
I mean,
as well.
I hope.
Onion
I'm trying
soup.
to break
Onion
it,
soup.
I'm trying to break it down to anybody, right? So we're on everybody's level. That's where we're getting here.
Matt, that makes sense to you? Made sense to me.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Basically, you know, we're messing with those angles. It's done on the racetrack. It's done in the dyno. Everything to just get the best possible targeting that we can.
Fun fact, you know how whenever you guys cut onions, you cry a little bit? You guys know how to avoid doing that?
No.
Just don't cut them.
Just don't get so emotionally attached. You'll be good.
I thought you were going to say that analogy made you cry too.
Yeah, that also. So in addition to the new injector angle, the new shape of the intake ports, we also have the throttle body on the front of this being mounted a bit differently. Throttle body was mounted like this, whereas this one is mounted like this. So the butterfly, instead of opening horizontally, is now angled at about a 45.
The size of the throttle body starts to hit the head. When you see where this is hitting and see how far forward that is, you can't fit that. So you have to clock it in order to fit it.
One of the other questions that we had whenever we were unboxing this one was we have the cover from VVT, but no VVT in this one, is that right?
That's correct.
All right, we are to the install portion. One of the things that the guys from Harley Davidson brought up, they were asking if we had an air cleaner to pair with it, because we don't really want to throw the stock one back on since we're gonna need some more air. We got the Screaming Eagle Heavy Breather Extreme over here, brother. One of the reasons I chose this one is because the filter element in the front hopefully acts as ram air a bit, so as you're going, air is pushing back against you, pushing all that air into the larger throttle body, larger manifold, larger intake ports. More air, more power.
The power numbers as tested are with that air cleaner. So the numbers that Michael was talking are with that heavy breather air cleaner on the 135.
Let's get to installing this thing.
I got a bear hug, I gotta put my jacket on, get my 20 minutes of
Power.
Chris
just moved his house yesterday.
My back is not gonna be happy with that. And I'm not a big guy. For any of you that think somehow the camera adds weight, I promise, there ain't shit here. It's rail. If you saw me pick it up the other day, that was all the energy I had for the next 2 weeks.
I guess I'm doing it.
He's wearing his power jacket.
This is the
has the
20-minute, this is...
has the master badges on both sides.
This is the old, the pre-copyright badges. Post-copyright badges. Guide me. I'm stuck. While somebody's calling, there's pressure and people and a camera. Oh my God. All right, we're good. Up on the dowel, it's in there. No scratches, no harm, no foul. Everybody got their fingers. Nobody's cut.
How's your back?
I'm good.
10 fingers?
All fingers.
All fingers. And that's how you install a 135 crate engine. All right, guys, we have reached a stopping point for the day. We're going to pick it up, continue tomorrow. We got engine in, primary mostly assembled. On this side, it's looking all purty. Now, we did hit a stopping point because we need a tool, which is essentially a jig for the rear O2. Chris, you want to tell us a little bit about it?
We're going to use the wideband O2 sensors on this. So in order to install those, we have to drill these out. And I have the old tool, and apparently there is a new tool. If you want to show them what that is here. Anyways, there's a new tool for the rear O2 sensor so that it doesn't hit the transmission cover. And the reason I know that is because I went ahead and tried to fit it. So here's the one I tried to do using the old sensor, and the angle of the dangle isn't right. So for those of you wondering at home what the hell that means, basically, if I were to force this into place, which that's really close, once I tighten it, if you notice, this hits. This makes contact, and it makes contact so much that it actually put a nick in it. For that reason, and it being plastic, there's no material for me to just clearance. I could take the cheap route and probably clearance and bend this, but we don't want to be hokey on a brand new motorcycle, so we'll just get the right tool and do it the right way.
So that tool should be in tomorrow, so we are going to wait for that to arrive, and we will continue then. So we should be able to finish up the install, and then we will get the widebands on it, take it into the dyno room, and we'll get readings with the stock flash with the little Bluetooth tuner that they have.
And then yes, we'll try it with the widebands. And then we'll attempt to dyno tune it with the widebands, because I haven't actually used the Pro Tuner to dyno tune like this before, so we'll get that done and see what numbers we can get and if we can pull anything else out. And then once that's done, you know, and they're gone, game's on.
Bro, earmuffs, man.
I don't know.
Michael, earmuffs.
That's their problem.
Game is on.
They're not going to be here tomorrow. You guys do me a huge favor. Post down in the comments below thanking Harley Davidson Corporate for showing up and giving us all of this information on the 135 today.
It's always good to come down.
Hell yeah. Pleasure.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for coming, dude. Thank you for all the info. Chris, thanks so much.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm glad I could
Good to meet you finally. So let's cut till tomorrow, and we will continue finishing the install of the 135. And Northern Tool, seriously, this place is, it's like a kid in a candy store. So we met up with Northern Tool through Billy Lane, actually. We hit them up recently, and I was like, yo, we need a drill press in order to finish this install with this Harley Davidson exhaust. Cool thing, they have drill presses. Got oscillating wall mount fan, Pelican Cases Strongway brand ladders, we've got wheels, we've got hoists, actual name brand tools as well, so DeWalt and Milwaukee and Still, toolboxes, hub kits, spindles, bearings, axle hardware, they have everything here. Like a glove. Go ahead and set this up, but big thanks to Northern Tool for helping us out with this episode. Greatly appreciate you. Let's get back to it.
What's up, guys? Good morning. See, my coffee's brewing. What are we drinking today, you might ask? We're drinking some Allegro extra dark roast. To try to get you up to speed pretty quick, looks like our O2 sensors or widebands are in. Looks like the header is on. Those are torqued. So it looks like we need to put the cover back on. It looks like we need to reroute some things, get everything right. I'm getting near the end here. I think I'm tasked with getting this done today. The calibration file for this, guys, just so you know, today is the 9th of July. The calibration file is not out for this yet. We have the calibration file tomorrow released. We'll get the calibration file in it. We'll shoot it out there. Justin, see, he just walked in the door. Justin's gonna cut this all up tomorrow, like in no time. So you guys are gonna see this in real time. Like, I don't exactly know when that video is coming out. He's over here shaking his head. What you're seeing me talking right now won't be but a few days from right now.
Tomorrow, really.
Is it released tomorrow?
It's tomorrow. Literally what we're filming right now, I'm gonna edit.
I told them today is July 9th. I said we don't have the cal yet. Oh, and I was updating them on all my stuff if you want to do this with me, because I thought this was fun. I got other work in the shop. We got all the stuff coming in for this tomorrow. His engine, unfortunately, decided to go other ways in Salt Lake City. So the engine's not in it. It came here like that. Gotta finish cutting. Cutting needs to get done. We got all kinds of stuff. Anyways, just know, as I said with this one, today is July 9th. Tomorrow is the 10th. The calibration comes out, and I believe you will see this video tomorrow.
It's so quiet, dude.
Just keep in mind, in all fairness, that is with the stock muffler.
Yeah.
These aren't the Screaming Eagle mufflers. So I don't know what those would sound like in comparison. After this, we're gonna run it with the Cal, then we're gonna tune it with the street tuner, and then eventually we're gonna tune it with Dynajet, right? We
Yep.
kind of see what we get through the progression. So
Yep.
I know they rated it at 149, 144. I don't think they did that with stock mufflers.
Right.
But we'll find out what we get with them, and then, like I said, we'll put some high flows on and see what we get from that point. What is up, guys? We're back with the installation of this kit. It probably requires some basic knowledge. They have a little skill level. It's basically saying some basic knowledge of what you're doing should happen here. They also say that you're gonna need a torque wrench and potentially some safety glasses. So just keep that in mind if that's something you wish to follow. I already have the app in my phone from other installs. So I'm not gonna go through the download process, but what I am gonna do is I'm going to connect this, and then I'm gonna go through the connection process. We're gonna get the calibration installed. We're gonna turn the bike on, open the app, link, get the cal in there.
I also want to go ahead and note on camera, Harley Davidson released this software so that we can, so that we can actually put it on the bike 11 minutes ago. So we had the engine installed on this bike before they released the tune for it. We did the same thing with Goldzilla whenever we installed that 131. We had it installed so quickly that the Harley hadn't even released the tune for it yet. With that one, we weren't, quite working on the level with Harley Corporate yet. With this one, we are. And the reason that we're able to do that is because you guys watching, commenting, subscribing, showing us the support that you do is why these companies decide to work with us. So we are incredibly appreciative of you guys watching and signing up and giving us the opportunities to be able to do this. The whole reason that we want to do this is, one, it's a big bore kit. Why not, right? Go fast shit. And two, it's the education aspect to kind of pull back that curtain and show you guys everything that goes into doing this and what your power numbers are to show you what you're going to get. We've got a lot of awesome stuff coming up with this series. We just had a sponsor come on board that is really going to up this build that we're doing against Kruesi, by the way. So I think we had said this in the initial build-off announcement with Kruesi, how we're doing a biker build-off style series with him. This is part of us working on this motorcycle. Upon looking further into trademarks and all that stuff, despite the trademark being dead and that previous company that used it not using it anymore, unfortunately we can't use it. So if you guys have any good names for a biker build-off style series, Battle of the Builders is unfortunately taken as well by SEMA. You guys do us a favor though, drop down in the comments section below on names for this whole series, because we're literally still trying to find something. What do you think? What should we call it?
Doesn't matter. Let the bike speak for themselves. Who cares about a name? Let's do this.
That's the name. Bikes speak for themselves. Build off. Just kidding. That sucks. Don't judge the start or the sound of this on this, because it's stock mufflers. It is running a lot better than when we started yesterday. It had that how it was shaking back and forth yesterday?
Oh yeah, it was timed horrible.
Yeah. All right, next up, throw her on the dyno. See what the power numbers are.
Oh, here's a cleaner. I should have taken it off and wrote, okay. Blockhead cleaner did a great job. Get yours at the website. I am not an artist. Used to be. There it was. I think that's kind of how I did it.
Yeah.
For all the boomers that are watching. Don't
write on your brand new 135. So they gave us this one, but I like the custom touch. They used to be. It lasts for a while.
It does.
Oh yeah, all right. Let's get her in the dining room, boys. We are in the dyno room now. We've got the bike ready to go for a couple of pulls. So in order to show you guys the numbers that we're being told, I've actually been texting back and forth with James Green, who we had in a previous video. He's one of the engineers behind the 135. I've also been talking to Matt as well. So the numbers that they are reporting, that they are showing the consumer, which they said they actually reported at the rear wheel, which is uncharacteristic of an OEM to report rear wheel horsepower. That's what we're gonna all be feeling. So most report it at the crank. You're usually gonna see a difference of 15% because of drivetrain loss. So for them to be reporting it at the rear wheel, it's awesome. Really good for transparency, obviously. So they're saying 144 horse and 149 torque. In order to see if we're actually getting that, because that's what we're doing here, we're in the dyno room, this is the truth, right? No smoke and mirrors here. I asked them, I'm like, what is y'all's setup? What is the air cleaner? What is the tune, obviously? What is the muffler exhaust setup? So we have two of the three components. So we've got the Screaming Eagle heavy breather here, obviously the 135, we've got the tune flashed on it. We have a high flow header, but stock slip-ons. So stock mufflers right now, which is going to be more restrictive than what Harley Davidson tested with, which was the Screaming Eagle titanium mufflers. We didn't receive those. We're gonna do a pull like this with the stock setup, or with the high flow headers and the stock mufflers. After we do a pull with the stock mufflers, which are, like I said, a bit more restrictive, we're gonna go ahead and swap these out to a set of slip-ons that are more open, should be less restrictive. We should see higher numbers with them, much as you would with those Screaming Eagle titanium slip-ons.
From here on out, we're gonna make all the pulls in custom A mode, which is basically maxed out everything.
Those numbers with the stock mufflers, we're gonna go ahead and put the slip-ons on, and then we'll do another 5 pulls, get that average, and then we'll show you guys the numbers. So we're swapping out. So this is the stock. We'll hold it up to the light even. Can't hardly see shit. So with these new ones, you can see all the shit. Look at all that shit.
God damn, look at that shit.
So much less restrictive. All right, guys, there you have it. Those are results. For the best pull with the slip-ons, as Harley Davidson said, is advertising 144 horse, 149 torque. We are seeing 144.58 horse and 151.47 torque. Like I said, with the slip-ons. With stock, it's lower, but they're advertising it with slip-ons. So yeah, that's the truth right there. You guys are, they're literally showing you exactly what you get.
We call this stock pull, but it's a stock muffler. Let's say our average was 142 and our horsepower average was 139 safely. Now, when we went to the high flow, which was much similar to what Harley's referenced in their graphs using the titanium Screaming Eagle muffler. So as John said, 151 and 144. So we hit exactly what they advertised. Good on them, kudos to them, because if you say it, I want to see it. And I got it, so good for them.
Just so you guys know how big of a deal it is to actually see the numbers that an OEM is they're advertising that, they're showing that, that's a big deal. Most OEMs, like I said, they're gonna show you guys the numbers that they get at the crank. So I gotta give kudos to Harley for this one, actually advertising the numbers that you're seeing at the rear wheel. For us to throw it on here, test it, and us get it, Like seriously, props to them. Hopefully more OEMs start doing that. I feel like more honest, more truthful with the consumer.
Our air quality, I can promise you, was not the same as their air quality when they did theirs. In Milwaukee. And I don't know if the elevation is different, but humidity for sure. They kind of took my steam away because I like to talk a little trash. And they took it away. Good on them. I'm excited to have this engine at our disposal. I'm excited to get my hands on it and to really start to tear it apart and find out where the ceiling really is. I am not by no means downing Harley. This is a great product. I am going to tune the Super Tuner, so be on the lookout for that coming episode. We're going to tune the Super Tuner that's on here currently, and then we will eventually move on to another tuner that allows us a little bit more freedom when it comes to like speed control and possibly some of our timing tables and fuel tables and whatnot. I think what I'm seeing right here right now, I can call it pretty easy. We should be able to touch 165 both pretty easy without doing a ton of work.
Don't forget the fact that with the 131 that we have in Goldzilla, we did this same kind of formula in terms of video format to show you guys what you can get out of them. Harley Davidson leaves a lot of untapped power in these engines because they kind of have to. So what we're going to do from here, we're going to do a first ride video, so give you guys first rides, thoughts, impressions on this bike with the 135. And then after that, we're going to start changing it. We're going to void our warranty, if you will. Yeah, we're gonna swap out the cam. We'll probably do some roller rockers, potentially cam plate, oil pump, pistons. I've been talking to a company about some specialty pistons, but as is from the factory, this amount of power within warranty is pretty impressive. We're gonna do what we do, horsepower science, and we're gonna try and break it. See what numbers we can get. That way we can show you guys what you can do to your own bikes if you want to either bring them to us or do it yourself, and what kind of power you can expect.
Thanks to Harley for this. Giving us the opportunity to f around and find out, giving us the freedom to do it. That speaks volumes to me, and that makes me feel special. Oh, thanks.
Yeah, big thanks to Matt, big thanks to Michael, and to James. So I'm talking back and forth with James, like I said, the engineer behind it, and he's really excited to see some of the stuff that we do to this thing as well. He was the one that burned his boot to our prototype exhaust back in the day.
Damn it.
Shout out, James, appreciate you. But yeah, lots of stuff incoming on this. Big thanks to Harley Davidson for the opportunity to bring you guys this content. Really appreciate it. Hope you guys have enjoyed this one. If you want to see all that future content on us building the brand new 24 Road Glide, now with the 135, be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon also, so it sends you notifications of future uploads and activity. Until next time, you guys, ride fast out there. Stay vigilant. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.